All right, Keyshawn, you had a big performance the other night in Lubbock, Texas, against Texas Tech. You were definitely feeling it in that first half. You literally couldn't miss. Just how did you feel going into that game? Did you have an idea maybe in warm-up, say you were in store for a big performance?
Yeah, I mean, I think I did. I think I tend to raise my level when I reverse like deeper competition. I actually want to play a little. Like I know it's the thing Coach Dawkins has been telling us. Like, yeah, treat every game the same, but you know it's the Big 12, and I actually want to prove myself in the Big 12. So that's the thing. And then my teammates just got me going and finding me and put me in the right places.
Keyshawn, when did you realize you were feeling good? You went into the half, I believe, 7-7. Then you start up the next half, knocking out another three. When did you know that you were in the zone?
When I wasn't thinking, I was just out there, just like I don't know. I just wasn't thinking about nothing. I wasn't trying to hesitate on anything. I was just letting it go. And once I just start feeling it, they start finding me. So that's how I just knew I was going at that time.
Keyshawn, you guys had to fend off another late-game charge from your opponents in the second half. What felt different in Lubbock versus in the Greenbrier against those like LSU?
I think we got a little experience in that aspect because we let LSU come back, so we knew what to do and like don't be pressured or rush the ball or like be in our heads and start arguing things like that. So we just had to stay together and just remember what we did in LSU to not even go back to that same thing because Lubbock is a great atmosphere, so we knew we had to like take the slow the pace down, and take the crowd out of it. So that was a different thing for us.
So after now being in that sort of situation a couple of times, what do you feel like this team needs to do in order to avoid like those types of late game charges when you get leads like that?
Just need to really protect the ball more and not turn it over as much. And when we get into like try to get in the bonus and not turn it over as much, not shoot a lot of bad shots. But it's just like, you know what I'm saying, every team makes their runs. You're not going to stop a team from making the runs. It's just how you contain it and how do you stay together during it.
Keyshawn, you just opened by saying you love big competition. How are you feeling going into Sunday evening?
I feel great. You know, as a kid, when you're a kid, people say it's a cliche to say like, yeah, don't do this, don't look at certain games. But as a kid, you always want to play these top teams and you always want to go to these top schools. So I just feel great that I get the blessing from God to be in this the Big 12 and play these top teams and to go in here versus a good Kansas team.
Keyshawn, what do you know about Kansas? And also, did you look back at last year's game at all to see what kind of atmosphere, you know, the court storming and the introduction of the Franz and the student section? Did you look back at last year's game to see what happened?
Yeah, I actually did. That was one of the first things coming here. When I came here, I actually watched their film. I watched a lot of their film, but that was one of the games I locked in on, one of the most games because I love the atmosphere. I love an atmosphere, so I love the student section. I love the home crowd atmosphere here. It's always a packed arena. And what was your second half part, the first half part?
What did you know about Kansas? What do you know about them going into this game?
Oh, yeah, I mean, they're a great team. They're well coached. I mean, one of the best coaches in the business, a good team, and they're going to play together, move the ball, and they're going to, you know what I'm saying, make a lot of runs. We just got to know how to contain it and play defense.
You kind of hit on both sides of it, of treat every game the same, but also you're excited. Like, I mean, this is a blue blood program. When you see Kansas, you know, coming into town, what's that feel like? How exciting is it to get a shot at them?
Man, it's very exciting because it's just like I feel like, you know, they're a top team in the country, but I feel like we should be. We can be one of them top teams in the country. We just got to all stay together and keep it together and just keep going down. Like Coach Dawkins always say, we're not a finished product in January. So we just always have to keep working towards that. So I think we have a great chance of going out there and playing against a good school.
What's the plan to combat them on the glass in particular when they have both the 7-footers out there at the same time?
The plan is to be physical, to be a more physical team. I'm going to tell you, that's what Coach Dawkins keeps telling us, to be a more physical team. You know, they're going to go hard. They're taught that. That's their program. So we just have to, but that's our program too. That's our standard. So we just have to be the more physical team, box out, push them out, and just not let them get position. Because if you do, it's going to be a long night for us.
Keyshawn, I know you came into this year already as a veteran, as an experienced player. How are you getting better, you know, as the year goes on? What have you learned from Coach Dawkins?
I learned a lot, and not just Coach Dawkins. I learned from the players. I just have to learn how to play with great players, like good players that come from other schools, dominating at their other conferences and other schools. Like I came from a school, I had good players on my team, but I was the leading person the ball I would go to. Now here, I'm still one of the guys, but I have other guys, so I have to learn to play with other guys because if I want to make it to the next level, that's what Coach Dawkins always tells me. I want to make it to the next level. I'm not going to be the best player right away. You're going to have to come in and do your part and then play with other great players. You know what I'm saying? So I learned that from Coach Doggins, learned how to play with different guys where they like their spots and things like that.
Keyshawn, it seemed like a tale of two halves against Texas Tech. You dominated in the first, and then late in the second, DJ kept getting to the line and making clutch plays. Do you feel like that combination, or any guy can take over in a game like that?
Yeah. I feel like any guy on the team can, but as you know, like people that's been doing it through their whole career, me, Jordan Ivey, Jalen, DJ, we all can take over a game at any time. So that's a good thing about UCF is like we don't always have to be on our best. Like other teams always, they can't just sit there and be like, oh, he's not going. Now you have to worry about everybody on the court because anytime something can spark up. So I feel like that's a good thing for us.
And I also wanted to ask about DJ's veteran presence and the timeouts when this momentum seemed to be on Texas Tech's side. Was he giving any words to you guys as he's been in this program for a while?
Yes, he's been giving a lot of gems to us, saying like just slow down. The atmosphere in the Big 12 is different. Just slow down. Certain calls are going to go our way, not going to go our way, but we just have to stay afloat and stay together because that was the biggest thing. We can't, because we are new guys, a lot of new guys on the team, and we're all in together. So he's just saying stay together and not let things get to us. So that was a big thing for us.
Keyshawn, Coach talked about building continuity with Jalen and Mikey joining you guys on the court now. What has it been like having them on the court with you guys now, and how has building that continuity?
It's been great. I feel like it just fitted right in. Like nobody's coming in trying to do much, mess up the rotations, everything. I feel like it just floated right back in. Obviously, that was a big thing for me transferring here. I wanted to play with Jalen. That was one of my biggest things because I've been knew him since before coming here. So that was just a good thing that I'm happy to see him back on the court, and obviously I'm happy to see Mikey. So we're all just making it a flow, all playing off of each other and not trying to do too much. So that was good.
Keyshawn, you mentioned this playing in an environment, that can be, especially on the road, competitive environment.
Mm-hmm.
What's some of the craziest stuff student sections have done? Here at UCF has the fronds and they wave them. What's some of the craziest things you've seen the student section do maybe to distract you guys?
To distract me, I don't know. I'm not going to say I look at the student section too much when I'm shooting. But I did when I was a freshman at UNLV, played in New Mexico State. New Mexico, they call it the pit, right? Yeah, it's very crazy there. They be having like all black and white faces, paint their faces and thing. They wait for our bus to get off the bus. So things like that, it's kind of funny. But when I'm in a game, I really don't look at too much stuff. I'll be focused on one thing. I just like the energy of the home crowd. But when I'm on the road, I don't really look at it too much.
Keyshawn, you said one reason you came to UCF, you wanted to play with Jalen.
Mm-hmm.
You said you knew him before. How did you guys meet? How did you know him prior to this?
I knew him since high school, but I like social media. Like a lot of kids nowadays, they know each other off social media. It's a big thing nowadays. So I've been following his game, been following my game, and we always just reposting each other content or texting each other, so things like that. And then when I had a chance, I wanted to jump on it and like, oh yeah, I would love to play with him. You got we're both left-handed, both same guys that can get to the rim, shoot the ball, so things like that. I like to play with that.
What's that?
Keyshawn, you're facing a Kansas team that is coming off a loss. From your experience, what is it like either facing a team that is coming off such a thing, hungry for a win, whether it's you being such a team or facing such a team?
I'm going to tell you now, man, it's the same thing for me because guess what? They're going to come in here trying to win, and guess what? We're going to try to win. So I'm happy I'm not saying I'm happy they lost, but I'm happy they coming in with with some fire on their butt, ready to play because we are too. We got stuff to prove. They're top in the country, looked at top 7-10 team in the country. We want to be there. So that really don't matter to us. We just trying to go out there and do the same stuff.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Keyshawn. Thank you.
Guys.